Hey there, and happy Friday. So sorry I wasn't able to be with you yesterday. I sometimes get that look of, oh, if we just had one more guy, and then I turn into a guy and I help out in the field. And so did a little bit of digging, did a ton of running. And then when I saw the forecast, it looked like rain for every day for like over the next week. And I'm like, I haven't planted anything but potatoes in my garden, and I have a huge garden. Anybody that knows me, it is very, very large. And so I thought, oh, so I ran to the store and got all the stuff, and I'm like, the dirtier I got and the hotter I got, I'm like, you know what, maybe Lois will understand, and there's Lois right here, if I don't get the live done. And so it was just kind of prioritizing things, and wouldn't you know, it didn't rain. I mean, that's how it works though. You kind of plan for everything and you push hard. And I walked in the door last night at 11:45 after giving like the last ride. And I was tired, and not as tired as the guys, but tired, and they still worked a couple more hours. But I was like, yeah, we have joked sometimes, Stampin' Up, people say like, use your strengths. I am a night owl, but the thought of at 11:45 coming up and doing this live to reach people that maybe are also night owls, they've said that, like, maybe you should do like this live stream at that time of night. The house was quiet. I was all by myself. I could have, but I just didn't have any brain cells left. So I'm more excited about today's card today than I would have been yesterday too. So hi there, Lisa. So it's good to have you on here, and I am bringing you the fun little monkey bundle, and I'm excited about that. And after I put today's card together, I thought it's such a rare thing for me not to use any designer series paper. I thought about even adding like a little strip kind of behind the layers. You'll see it when I turn it around, but I'm like, no, let's just use a card, because it's a rare thing when I make a card without designer series paper. That is always my go-to. Hi there, Julie. So I see that I'm caught up here on my iPad, so I'll put that down and move the camera around so that you can see it. I feel like I haven't done coloring with you guys, for a while either. There we go. And so today's going to be a little bit of coloring. I've got my blends out and such. And so here is the cute little monkey. How fun is that? It says, I'm bananas about you. And I have a sister. Her name's Anna. So of course, you know, the natural nickname for her entire life, and she's fine with it, is Anna Banana. And sometimes she will even refer to herself as just Banana. So so I thought, okay, anytime she sees me make a card like this, she'll be like, I'll take 10 of those. And so I'm thinking, oh, I hope she likes this card, or it could surprise her if she doesn't catch that I've made the card, and make up some for her. So where this is coming from is the new annual catalog, of course, that looks like this, and it is on page 52, 52. So you'll see all that. It's a photopolymer stamp set. There's lots to it, lots of greenery, a couple different bananas, 3 different monkeys, and I love that Stampin' Up tells us which one the punches out, because these two are kind of similar and such, and I don't want anybody fooled into thinking like a punch is so amazing that it would punch out all 3. And so, yeah, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I can combine monkeys with tacos. I mean, does anybody do that? Today I felt very distracted. Every squirrel was a true squirrel to me today, and just getting ready to work on my card. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, this new catalog is so fantastic. I just really want to sit down and take time to order more things. I've already done it. Like, this was part of my pre-order. That's why I have it already. And then on the first day, I ordered a few more things, but I just want to go and keep going on my list because everything is so fun. So Lisa's saying, oh, I love the colors. So this is Pretty Peacock. And how do you know that you know when you know that you love the colors so much? So people are talking about, oh, Pretty Peacock's back. Well, to be honest, to bring back Pretty Peacock was me reaching into my ink pad caddy and just pulling out my my Pretty Peacock ink pad, because it really never left my lineup. That's how much I loved it. It didn't get stored away or put away anywhere. So it was one of the favorite ink colors for so many of you, and it's back, so that's great. But I did have to wait until more cardstock came, because that's another sign. Very rarely do I use up to the last scrap something of a color, and like all of my pages of my Pretty Peacock were all gone. So that tells you how much I love the color Pretty Peacock, and I think because it coordinates with so many other colors too. It looks good with neutral tones, which I do a lot with neutral tones, and even that bright yellow on there, that's Daffodil Delight, and it just really like takes on that without it looking too like bright or something there as well. So thanks, Lois. And I always love it when my hostess says that she likes anything about the card, because like sometimes it's a pure guess, sometimes I think it's going to be like, oh, somebody's going to love this card, and then you hope they do, but maybe they don't. So anyway, I'm glad that you like your card for your party. All right, so yeah, I want to make sure and tell you that that's back, and just to point out that this is a bundle that goes with this punch. So the Monkey Builder Punch has the monkey itself, and then pieces to work on building that up, and then the banana, and I'm going to use the banana too. I'm so glad that I can punch out the banana, because I'm going to stamp it and then punch it. I'm not worried about building up his face, but if you did want to do that, then you would just stamp punch the body and then punch the face. But there is also this little image that Stampin' Up! Gave us that is the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and I love that because I saw somebody's that had done that, had built it, and I'm like, oh, I thought they free-handed the face on there, and I'm like, you know, I could do that, but that would be like those jokes that we see that are Pinterest fails. Like, my things don't show up like they're supposed to. My free hand is not always a very good hand. Hi there, Laura. So let me get started. So I am going to use my cut and emboss machine today, even though this is a punch bundle. So what I want to crank out with my cut and emboss machine today is the Stitched with Whimsy dies. I've not used those for a while. I love them, and they kind of remind me of the Stitched the Radiating Stitch dies, which is one of those online exclusives. And I'm like, you know what? Those have been really popular too. I should check on the Radiating Stitch dies. Those are currently unavailable. So they have sold out for now, but it means that they're getting some back. Oh, here, I was like, where's my top cutting plate? I almost had my hand right on it. So that's why I went, you know what? I'm going to go with Stitch with Whimsy dies, because sometimes I don't like to showcase products that you can't physically buy, because sometimes people love a card and go, I want to buy everything today that you can, and then I feel like the bad person. So we've got this, and why it's kind of sticking into the die is because it's doing the stitching. So a lot of people see these in the catalog and go, well, doesn't that cut around there? No, you cut this to whatever size you want, and then it just does that fun stitching in a whimsical way. So we've got all of these dies in here, and then of course the one that I just used that fits in there. So there's a little bit even larger, and then the rest are all the other different shapes. So that's how that comes. Oops, I'm just going to set that aside, and that's my only die cutting with the big machine. So now I'm going to build on here, and I'm going to start with the branch. So I'm going to pull over my scratch paper, which isn't very nice looking. It really gets a workout some days. Here, I'm just going to move this more over so that you can see the hostess better. And then also my project. Sometimes I get so carried away in talking and demoing that I forget to check my camera angle. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to open up my Memento black ink pad and ink up the branch. There's several Stampin' Up! Sets that have branches, and I always think, oh, here's another branch, but I like it, and it tends to always go with, you know, the theme, whether it's birds, you know, the aspen tree, or the sweet songbirds, or nesting things, but I always love it. So I've got that just done, the few leaves on the branch there, and then I'm going to go with some of the greenery that's in that stamp set too. So I'm going to ink up kind of this jungle frond here, and this one almost looks like it could be like a feather, but it is definitely a leaf. But you know, for those that go and think outside the box, I'm not really good at thinking outside the box, but sometimes you go, gosh, I wish I had a feather in with my things, and then you can go, you know, there it is. So I'm going to flip it around one way, and then the other, so you can see it almost makes it look like you have two different stamps, but it's the same one. And then I'm going to ink this up again off to the side like so. So I've spaced them because I'm going to end up using my blending brushes and really filling this in to give it a more full look. And you'll be surprised when you see how these are spaced. The end image just makes it all really seem a lot more full. So that's a good thing. All right, let me just set this aside so that I don't get that inked up with anything. And then, let's see, I'm trying to think what I want to do next. I think I want to actually stamp out my monkey so then I can do all my coloring at one time. All right, and I'm going to just pull this over. Whoops, I'll just go like this. This is my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I should have used that with a branch, but it turned out perfect. But I often just by habit grab it when I'm using photopolymer stamp sets so that we get nice crisp images like that monkey. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Curious George because, you know, the bananas and everything that go with it. So that's why. All right, so I've got this, and I'm just going to feed him in there like so. Got that. And a lot of times those little extra pieces come out. And then let's just go ahead and stamp a couple bananas too right away. So I'm just going to ink those up in black ink, and I'm going to do 2 of them. I can't go one on top of the other, and I'll show you why. So when I slide this into my punch, the one banana here, the reason you will want to, if you're doing this, is that it punches out above there. So yeah, if you had stamped your next banana, then it would not be in the right spot. Okay, so I've got that, and then going to punch the next one too. So always stamp first, then punch. That makes it a lot easier there. So we've got that. Hi there, Linda. Good to see you joining live. Sometimes you're so busy you don't catch it till later at night. So it's fun to have you on here. All right. And for some reason, I don't know how or why I punched. I'm just going to kind of even out that banana because it looks like it's clipped or something. So I'll just kind of go like that. I love bananas. I don't know, the older I get, the more I like bananas. I definitely have to have some green on them. Otherwise, I don't love bananas. I love baking with bananas too. So if they do go bad, my husband hasn't eaten them. He can eat them way past when I would. Like I'd look at a banana like that thing's gone, and I'll look the next morning and he's eaten it, and I'm like, I wouldn't have touched that thing with a 10-foot pole, but that's because all the green's gone. Not that the banana is even that bad. All right, so let me get closer here and give you my coloring lessons. So let's start with the monkey, and I'm going to take and show you kind of the blends that I'm using today. And so for the tree, or excuse me, let's see, the leaves, I'm using Pretty Peacock, which is an unusual color for that. And then for the monkey, I'm going to pull in some Flirty Flamingo for the cheeks. But those neutral tones that Stampin' Up! Has in their lineup, I'm using Stampin' Up! 500. So it says SU 500, SU 100, and SU 900. So if you like to, you know, always keep track of what you have, like versus how do I make that work, those are the colors there. And if you need more information on those, please let me know. So I'm going to start with the lightest one. Hi there, Donna, and hi, Val. So with this, I'm just going to quickly, oh, and I should tell you which one. This is SU 900 out of the neutrals lineup. And they've kind of put the neutrals on their own separate little page too, so sometimes they're harder to find because they don't line up with actual Stampin' Up! You know, colors like daffodil yellow, sweet sorbet, you know, something like that, because they're their own neutral tone. Oh, let me color in the cute little ears too. Hope the squeak doesn't bother you. Kind of a fun little sound. All right, so we got that. And Julie says, as usual, you always convinced me that I may need a stamp set I didn't think I needed. Well, So that's what has happened to me, Julie. That's funny that you say that, because that is why, okay, the next one I'll keep, there's, I can talk while I color. SU500 is next. I'm going to just do everything else. So it's funny that you say that. That's why I feel like I am so distracted today, Julie, because, after seeing what other people have ordered, and some people have expedited their orders, and I didn't feel like as a demonstrator I needed to spend the money to expedite, because I look at the cost of expediting and go, you know what, sometimes that can be like a whole nother set that I didn't think I needed, and then I don't feel guilty if I get it. And so also with it being busy here on the farm with planting and such, so I'm not doing any blending with this color, just so you know. I'm just going around it and coloring in everything that the first color didn't catch. So yeah, so with that, knowing it's going to be busy here on the farm, I'm like, I'm not going to expedite anything, because my luck, it'll come really fast, and then it'll just sit there while I'm busy chasing after the guys, and then I'll feel doubly guilty. So I did, you know, like I said, placed an order. But then I want to order some more things. And so then I almost forgot, because I'm going to Norway, that I'm doing a swap. I need to come up with 26 cards for my Norway swap. So I need to get busy placing an order to make sure I have enough supplies for that too. So that's what I've been working on. All right, so now I'm going with the light Calypso Coral. Usually I go a little bit more pink with my coloring, but with this monkey and the darker colors of the card, kind of like the Calypso Coral. So this is what we've got so far. And I just think he turns out so super cute. So now I'm going to bring over, here we go, this backdrop here. And so I'm taking the darkest color of our blends, which is SU100. And I was going to kind of blend this, like, so I started with the darker, which this is, and then I thought by the time I would draw one line and try and outline it, well, then the whole tree's about full. So it's like, okay, that kind of defeats the purpose of, you know, adding some extra color in. I mean, I could have, but I thought, well, that's good. So that's that color. And then I'm going to come back with the dark Pretty Peacock, and just kind of follow down the line here that goes through the center of each of these leaves. And then I'm just going to add like a swipe within each of the leaves here in this kind of a frond. And then this bigger leaf, I'm just going to trace like so down here and do this. And that just kind of adds a little bit. Okay, and so then we're going to do the tracing, and as I finish doing this, I can give you a little story about my grandson. So yesterday, if you saw my picture of my garden of why I couldn't be here, he wanted to help. He came home from daycare with mom after work, and now I'm going to switch to light and just fill in. So I don't want you just sitting there while I do this. That helps. Okay, so I had bought some little marigold plants, and the rest of my things that I had ready to go were seeds. And he just thought it was so impressive. He's like, Grandma, I cannot believe you got those flowers to come up so fast, he said, because he saw the seeds. We were planting green bean seeds after that. And he just thought within minutes, the seeds I'd planted had turned into full-blown marigolds, and it just blew his mind. And so that was so cute. And then he helped me plant some, as well as his sister Mackenzie helped me plant some of my green bean seeds. And then Mom needed to get home and get some things done. And as he walked away, and just, you can tell he's still just thinking about it, because that little farmer in him just is nonstop. So he's thinking about those seeds. And then he walks away and says, Grandma, I still really love your gigantic dandelions, which were my marigolds. And I turned around and I went, they kind of do look like giant dandelions. So I thought that was kind of cute too, in his sweet little mind, you know. And today I spent some time with him, and he was picking me dandelions, and I thought, oh, I better make sure and tell him that they're different in the garden, so he doesn't accidentally pick those that I just planted yesterday with him, or before I got there. So otherwise, who knows, I might not have any flowers left if he thinks he's picking dandelions out of my garden too. All right. So a little bit coloring. So for those of you that go, oh, I love to color, this might be your card. For those that don't, maybe not so much. And I didn't know if I should do like this step ahead of time or not, but it's like, okay, this is what you guys get when you get me, right? So let me pop this back up here and I'll show you my bigger screen here while I put the assembly together. And that's going to go faster. So bear with me, and thanks for those that have already. All right. So what I'm going to do next then is just take and use my blending brushes. Oops, I need my scratch paper back. And I'm going to open up my Pretty Peacock ink pad here. And just, let's see, here we go. Yeah, and Linda's already thinking about getting an extra stamp set, so it's not just me. All right, thank you. So I'm just going to give this a swirl counterclockwise, start off my paper, and then just go. And the fun thing about these stitched with Whimsy dies is that it catches the stitching on there. So as I come across the bottom, and I like to do it heavier on the bottom than I do there as I go in the inside, but I still am going to go in the inside too. Must have got a little droplet of something there, but that's going to get covered up by the monkey. So we're going to kind of have some swirls that are lighter and darker within the inside too, but I wanted it to be heaviest around the outside. So that comes together really fast and gives us a great background. And then that is ready to go on the card. So I'm just going to take my adhesive here, zip that along the edges, and put that on here. And I should let you know the measurements for my basic white for this was 3.75 by 5 inches, and then the stitch dies fit within that. And then that's like that. And before I put my monkey on, I'm going to attach these cute little bananas with glue dots. So let me just press the glue dot here, and then that's going to go right on the monkey's hand like so. And same with this. I'm going to put that on there, and that's going to go like that. So now he's got bananas in his hands. How fun. And let me flip that over and get my dimensionals. Here they are. And I'm going to put one, whoops, not over that too far. It's going to show. It's going to have dimensionals sticking out as ears. All right, so let me get like 3 dimensionals going on there. And then I'm just going to put him there. Whoops. Like so, and then leave that little bit of space for I'm Bananas About You. So that I'm going to ink up with Pretty Peacock here and just sneak that right in there like so. And I know that was like risky putting that on last, like what happens, what if, but I felt pretty steady about that. So that almost completes the outside, and I almost left it like that, like seriously, because I felt like there was a lot going on. But I thought, oh, these pastel adhesive back sequins are kind of fun. They came with like a balmy blue, and then the pink, and then the gold. And I thought the gold would kind of like, kind of coordinate with the bananas. Here, let me get my take your pick tool here. And so just kind of give a little pop, like each, if I add that, would complement each other. So I thought, add a couple of the larger gold sequins and then just like one smaller sequin up there. And then I felt like the card just seemed a little bit more finished and kind of brought out the brightness of the monkey a little bit too. So I really liked that addition. And then for the inside, I didn't want to go too hog wild over things on the inside. So I'm just pulling in my usual 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And I thought, let's pull back out that, that leaf and just stamp that like a couple times like so in just plain black like that. And then Lois, as my hostess and whoever's getting the cards for her virtual host event, then will be able to put like happy birthday or anything that they want to add that to the inside. But I didn't want to limit what people would use this card for. So even though there was other sentiments in the Little Monkey stamp set, I kind of just left it like so. So we've got that, and then that in the inside. So like I said, it could almost look like little feathers. It's supposed to be the leaves there, and that's why I thought it was kind of fun to turn the one around as well. So so that is card number 3 for Lois Anderson's virtual party there with her host code. She will be closing out her party, whoops, let me get this turned around. There we go. She'll be closing out her party the end of next week. So like I always say though, if you know you want to be ordering, want to get her special cards or want to support her, the sooner you order, the better. That way she gets a better idea of what she has for rewards to shop and help her organize. She's super organized the way it is. So next week I will be back Monday or Tuesday to start Tori Kroger's virtual stamp party. I'm excited about bringing you guys 3 more cards, as well as like these 3 initial ones with the new catalog. Thank you, Lois. I'm glad you love the card. So I will have ideas for that, like I said, either Monday or Tuesday, depending, because what I really want to do over the weekend, I don't know what your weekend plans are, but I want to just kind of like finish decluttering out with the old and with the new with the catalog, and that helps me stay more organized. I've like got most of it done, but it's just that last step, and I really want to stock in the new things, and that will give me a better idea of what I have to get to order from the upcoming catalog, because like I said, I think I just need some more things already, and it's only been 2 days. So all right, so we'll see you next week, and thanks so much. Bye-bye.